welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy Mystic Quest with me, jrpg. And my throat is a little scratchy today, so that's why I sound a bit weird. I do apologize for that, but it's Friday and we're gonna play this game now. In the last episode, Kaylee, by asking it nicely, instead of our rude demands, got the Great Tree of the Alive Forest to allow us passage to Windia, so let's get in there. The tree said we could have a passage if we kill all the monsters inside of it, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. Now, conveniently, just about everything in here is going to be weak to arrow attacks, so that's kind of just what we're gonna be doing to everything. And also conveniently, arrow is the one black magic spell that Kaylee has. So this is our first mummy tile, and goodbye. Little ghosty over here. Same deal with these, they will also be weak to wind. And bam, the ghosts are gone. Now we won't need wind for this one, we will just need our trusty giant axe. Ooh, those scorpions are a little bit dangerous. Snippians, I guess I should say. They have a instant death attack, which is a little bit annoying. Now, nothing in this game is dangerous per se because you can't actually lose fights. Unless you find yourself trapped in a boss encounter that you can't escape from. But other than that, you can't really lose. But either way, the sensible thing to do is take out the guy with the instant death first. Some refreshers I'll never use. Now this dungeon is fairly straightforward, but it is long. But compared to like the lava dome, it's much easier to navigate. But either way, I really like this dungeon because it reminds me of the Giant of Babel in Final Fantasy IV, where, you know, you're climbing around on the inside of a structure, and we finally get to use our hookshot to navigate things, which is pretty sweet, to be honest. It was always my favorite item in Zelda, and it's no different in this game. It's just fun to use. And by doing so, we can find our way to the door over here. Now, on this floor, I want to go with a hard right. This is our first scorpion tile, and like I said, these guys can do instant death, so they can be a little bit of an issue. I think... Oh, I don't have any wizard magic. I guess we'll just attack. You should only get one action. Oh, they'll get none. That went really smooth. But the reason we're coming this way is for that treasure box over there. Let's get to it. And this is going to be our first frog tile. And it even comes with a leech. We're going to be seeing plenty of those later. I wonder if I shouldn't just cast a spell here, but I think we're just going to go with attacking. The frogs are not too dangerous. Like the frogs we've seen before them, they do a lot of poison. These are, of course, mad toads. They counter with a poison touch, but they're not too special. And because poison is so, I don't know, easy to ignore in this game, it's really not a big deal. Alright, now if we just pop in here, you might think it's a straight shot there, but no, it's a room filled with mushrooms. Now we could take the direct path and go this way, but I think we're going to pop up top first and grab these brown treasure boxes. We don't need them, but it feels good to be thorough. At least it does for me. Oh, can't carry any explosives, well we can chuck one and grab one. Don't want to leave that unopened, that would be annoying. And now we've got to chop down a huge number of mushrooms to get through here. I kind of wish it would, like, chop 3 of them, right? Everything the axe touches. I think that would be kind of cool. Alright, I think it's about time for a top-up. And one thing that kind of confuses me, or I guess is sort of a design pratfall, we'll talk about that in a sec, because something exciting is in this treasure box, as usual, the Meteor Spell. And this is a really, really sweet piece of wizard magic, and we're going to check it out soon enough. But what I was getting at a moment ago, we've got to chop down all these mushrooms again, so we'll have plenty of time to chat. Although these grow back so fast, they could probably solve world hunger. I don't know if the land of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest has any hunger problems, but you'd think with all the crystal problems they're having, they just might. But what I was getting at is, when you have spell charges and not MP, basically that ends up meaning that all of your spells cost 1, right? So, if life is a full heal and cure is not, there's no real reason outside of combat to ever cast cure. Now, we could climb down this vine, but these are actually pits. You don't get to climb to the bottom, you climb down and then you fall, and we would end up back earlier than where we were, so we don't want to go that way. But it can be very easy to make little design mistakes. Oh, nice, we leveled up on that one. But it can be very easy to make little design mistakes where one spell is just better, whereas things costing actual MP is kind of like a knob a developer can turn, right? Where maybe cure is weaker than life, but it costs less. But in this game, that's just not the case. Either way, let's kill all these monsters. And I'm even gonna double back for this scorpion at the bottom of this ladder. And speaking of using busted spells, let's go ahead and top up again. Why don't we throw down a heal while we're at it? That looks good. And let's get this frog. And now to open these doors, we've got to use our sword. If you want some sort of weird tree door to open its mouth, I guess you stab it in the face. Here are some of our first worm tiles. Unfortunately for these guys, they are weak to axes, and guess what we got? Leeches, they're called, and they are palette swaps of the worms we met way back in the beginning of the game, actually. Alright, let's go grab some brown treasure boxes, shall we? Now this one is kind of a clever fake out because they put a monster in front of it, so it makes it seem like it's something important, but you don't actually want to take it, so we're not going to do that. And where can we go from here? Nowhere, but we can see where we eventually want to get, so let's back on up. Same as the other one, we don't want to take this one either. There is only one that we actually want to take. Now let's swing around and get these guys. Some sweet, sweet brown treasure boxes. Alright, now let's get going to where we actually want to go in here. And that's going to be over this way, but there's going to be plenty of worms in our way. And now that we've cleared all those out of the way, we can go through this door over here. Just give it a stab in the face, and here we are, lots and lots more worms. And we're gonna go out of our way to take them all out, because I do want to hit some levels up before we finish up this place. Alright, let's double back. But I do like this room in particular because it reminds me of a particular treasure room in the Gurgle Volcano in the original Final Fantasy. And, you know, I'm a simple man. If you reference that game, I just like it. I just absolutely will. Alright, the way out is up, but let's grab this worm over here. And he is, of course, guarding absolutely nothing. So let's chop down some mushrooms and get out of here. All right. And another thing I like about this place is we're starting to have to use all of our tools. Ooh, leveled up to 29 on that fight. I love it. But, you know, we've got to use the axe to chop down the mushrooms. We've got to use the claw to climb the walls. and the hook shot to jump over gaps. It's pretty cool and very Zelda-like, but let me be clear, this game is not Zelda. But I do appreciate the Zelda-like touches. Some refreshers I'll never use, awesome. But what I was gonna say is, you know, when you see the creative design touches kind of peeking their heads out, you just can't help but feel like this game is trying to be something it's not. But I don't want to be too critical. I do like it, but that is true. Now, if we come down this vine, that is the one we actually want to fall down. Let's head down this way. Pick up this brown chest, and then head north. More worms, let's get them. And this section coming up is actually really cool. What we've got to do is climb up this, head over these, and let go of the button, fall, and then hold the button back down to grab on again. I do think that's really sweet, but I guess my question is, these action elements are cool, and having to use all the tools at your disposal is cool, but what do, like, quote-unquote, random encounters add to a Zelda game? Like, imagine playing Link to the Past, and there being, you know, in-screen battles. What would that add to it? And the answer is not much, and that's what I'm getting at when I'm saying this game is kind of trying to be something it's not, right? This is our first slime tile, so we can leave this in, actually. These guys are weak to explosions, so we're going to use explosions against them. Wow, nice crit, Kaylee. Jeez, what a beast. Fortunately, I can also do 1200 damage, so I don't feel too bad about myself. Now for this room, we're going to loop all the way around the outside to clear all the monsters. And as you can see, we've got some skeletons that we haven't seen. So we're going to leave these in. A fun thing you can do against these guys is they're weak against stone. So sometimes when you attack with the claw, you'll just instantly kill them without the damage actually registering. And these guys also have an instant death attack, which is mildly dangerous. And other status ailments as well. Why don't we get out our arrow spell and just finish this up? These guys, like basically everything else in here, are also weak against wind. And I feel like Kaylee having arrow is kind of a clue that you're going to want to be using that. Now there are a bunch of doors down here we can take, but we're not going to do that just yet. Although I will open this one up since it's here. First, we want to get these guys. All right, why don't we top up? And you know, I've been doing this whole thing without my wizard magic. I've got one black magic spell left. Why don't we just go ahead and use the seed? Why not? We're up to 7 wizard spell charges, which is pretty sweet. And we're gonna go out of our way, up this way. To get my favorite monster in here. I feel like every dungeon I've got to pick a favorite, and I like this guy. And if you guessed he was my favorite because he was guarding nothing, you would be correct. I love it. You chopped out all those and come all the way up here, and there's nothing there. It's the best. Yeah, we do want to go this way. Just to pick up this brown chest all the way through all of these mushrooms. And you know what? I'm going to leave this one in. Because I did want to show something cool. Why don't we try out our Meteor Spell on these oozes and see what happens? Because you might be thinking, oh, let's try out our cool new spell. But these things both have, like, wall magic, and you just get crushed. If you cast a spell on them. It's kind of the best, honestly. And they are, as far as I know, one of the only enemies in this game that has something like that. So the first time it happens to you, it's just out of nowhere. It's awesome. And of course, I could just, like, lose and restart this fight, but we have so many spell charges, it doesn't matter. We can just life ourselves up and actually win. Let's get our explosives out. And just absolutely crush this one. Another thing I like about them is how the translation reads when they attack. It attacks with stab. Not like it stabs you or uses its stab attack. It attacks with stab. And, you know, I don't need to remind you, but the translator did say he had a very, very easy time with this. But there are still things like that in the game. And now we took the leftmost door. You can take either one, the left or the center door, but the leftmost door is the most direct path to that particular monster, and I did want to get him. I want to kill all these slimes. A tree should not be filled with slime. And I think the Great Tree of the Alive Forest is really going to appreciate the thorough de-sliming we give him. Alright, let's take our heal potions, and this is going to be close to the final area. Of course, we've got to loop all the way around first. Oh, those skeletons gave us the business a little bit. Let's heal up. And keep on going. Oh no, I realized we missed a skeleton over there. Oh dear. I think I'm gonna go back and get him. And I'm gonna wave my magic wand and he is gone. We'll just pretend that never happened. We won't ever speak of it again. More explosives, right on time. That is just perfect. And somewhat confusingly, the way off of here is not visible when you travel over to this side. So you kind of want to remember where that's at. Fortunately, I do, and it's right there, but I do find that a little bit weird that something can be off-screen, but you can still reach it. That's kind of wild, right? Anyway. Awesome, we managed to level up on that fight. Let's go ahead and top up, and we are right on track to be able to beat the boss here. Now this is the way to the final room, but we're going to loop around first and take out this slimy skeleton. And what do we get? Can't carry any more cure potions. Let's remedy that. Because I want to take them with me. All right, let's get to the final area. I did tell you this dungeon was pretty long. Now, there's a lot of skeletons in here, so let's get to it. Still can't carry any more cure potions. Can I use one? I can. I wasn't actually sure if I can still use those if I'm at full health, but you absolutely can. Alright, I think Kaylee needs a seed. She's out of black magic, and Arrow is very, very useful against all these skeletons. And you know, I did say I was unimpressed with black magic, but it is pretty good in here. And what do we get? More explosives? Perfect. Let's get this skeleton here. And then before we tackle this boss up here, one thing I want to point out is I have no idea what this one is for. Like, you can never use it. You can't even go across from this way. So I have no idea why that's there. It's very strange to me. But anyway, let's go ahead and take this guy on. We could try and skip him, but you can't quite do that. They say if you can beat Ghidra, the monsters will disappear. I mean, the monsters already kind of disappeared due to me massacring them all, but let's get him. But before we do that, why don't we go ahead and top up? We'll use some cure potions just so we can pick them up if we run across any. We are getting very, very full on these. All right, let's take him on. He doesn't even say anything to you, sadly. So that's Ghidra. And just like everything else in here, he's going to be weak to Arrow, so we're just going to go ahead and cast Arrow on everybody and try and take the skeletons out in the first round. Yeah, that should work. Because if they start casting Confuse or Paralyze on you, things can get a little weird in here. And now we're just going to cast Arrow on him. And this is going to absolutely destroy him. He's got his own wind attacks. Oh dear. All right, well, let's get that off me, huh? And a fairly strong physical attack. Yeah, that's like 33% damage. Well, let's just keep casting Arrow. Ghidra does not like windy days. Stop petrifying me, dude. There's his wind attack. That one is also pretty strong. I'm going to go ahead and cast a life on Kaylee and have Kaylee keep hitting with arrow. And we should be just fine. This actually shouldn't take very many more rounds. Get him. Oh my god, he is really, really loving that Petrify today. It's kind of freaking me out because if he goes Petrify on Kaylee the next round, we just lose. So that's always a little tense. And I would prefer not to lose this fight if I can. It should be pretty easy, but Petrify can do that to you. Every round, every round. Oh, that scared me. I thought it was Petrify. There's no need to be scared, though. We're going to be just fine. This might do it. Bam! Let's go. Down goes Ghidra. Now let's talk to him. I'm grateful to you for beating those monsters. Allow me to carry you. And this is so cool. First thing I want to point out is check out the trees in the background. They spell out, "Go on, kid." But it does look a little bit like it says Goon Kid. But that's such an encouraging message. And just the Go On Kid gets me real hyped, honestly. But just like Treebeard in Lord of the Rings, he brings us all the way over to where we need to go, more or less. Now, I would just get straight out of here and meet you at the exit, but it wasn't really apparent on the way through, but these are all actually shortcuts to get out of here. And I have to say, I'm kind of shocked to say this, but is this good level design? I kind of think it is. You don't have to just straight up walk right out of here. You get to actually take shortcuts, which is really, really sweet. The question is, can I remember exactly how to get out of here? I would like to go that way, I guess. Yeah, that is where I wanted to go. Okay, let's back up. But, you know, a lot of the places you get to the end and you have to just walk out, and that's something that really bugs me. In this place, at the very least, they make it a short trip. So I did want to leave this in and just kind of demonstrate that there are moments in this game that do actually, you know, have good game design peeking out of them. Yep, we can take this one, and then we're out of here. Fantastic. I love a good shortcut, and especially one that it seems like, oh, they're just trying to trip you up and get you to kind of backtrack a little bit, but then you realize there's actually a purpose for them, and I think that's just really, really sweet. So where have we ended up? That's right, near the Kaij Temple. So let's pop inside. And who do we find? But it's our old friend again. Let's talk to him. Captain Mac will tell you about the prophecy. And that's it. All right, great. Well, this is another one of these teleporter tiles, but we still can't quite use them. However, there's a door up here, and there's going to be a couple of things this way. This way is going to be a brown treasure box, 3 cure potions, neat. And then if we go this way, this one's a little bit harder to find. What we get is absolutely nothing. I don't even know why it's there, but it is, and I wanted to show it. Feels weird to have there be an interesting piece of exploration with absolutely no reward at the end, but whatever. Let's move on. And my Go On Kid hype is immediately crushed by 2 more battlefields, so I'll wave my magic wand and get to round 1 of 10 here. All right, here's the final battle. I wonder what we'll get. You know what it is? It went from Go On Kid to Goon Kid when I saw these battlefields. You're like, yeah, you know what? I am actually playing the Goon Kid game. Clean them out. What do we get? 2,800 XP. That's not bad at all. Now we got 1 more to do, so let's get it done. Okay, good. So it's just 2 of these sea hag type enemies, and we're just going to go ahead and cast Meteor on them and make really, really short work of this one, no problem. All right. And what do we get? 2,700 XP. That's pretty good. All right, and the whole reason we came here was to get to the town of Windia, and we're going to check it out and figure out what's going on here. I assume they're going to be having some trouble with the wind crystal, but we'll have to wait until next time to find out because I'm all out of time for today. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next Final Fantasy Friday.